And we are live. What is up, my funky felines? I am here again with another episode. I don't have a guest this time, sadly. I apologize. I've been looking for more guests. Some of them, they have busy schedules. So, we're working on it. We're going to get them in the system. Don't worry about it. We may have a teacher on pretty soon as a guest. I still have to hear back from them. But I do have people lined up. I've gotten a few yeses, and we just got to work on their time and their schedules. So, for today's episode, I figured I would go ahead and just talk more about myself and my high school experience, because I don't really have any, good whole hour-long advice to give. I mean, I gave my advice with the school supplies. I gave my advice with the time management thing, for the organization and the tips and tricks with COA, and then the hot takes episode wasn't really kind of geared towards freshmen or helping more of. It was more of just kind of goofy, and it's something I want to do with other people too, not just my friends, where I invite people on to just talk about themselves. And it's kind of like how the Marco Light, if you are a freshman, you probably don't know this, but the Marco Light, they go around and they interview people for the paper, and for a while they had a TED Talk, which was, it wasn't like the classic TED Talk that you're used to for online and all that fun jazz. It was just interviewing Mr. Alston, and if you've met Mr. Alston, you know he's a pretty chill guy. We're going to try and get him on the podcast too, especially during football season. I think he'd be a wonderful addition to the podcast for a few guest episodes. He's pretty chill like that, and yeah. I have big plans for the podcast, so if you haven't picked up on it already, these episodes are filmed during the summer, so school's not in session right now. I am just starting this on my own accord. When I started up for, when I start doing episodes for, during the school year, there will be more guests on the podcast. There will be more teachers. It may work differently for the teachers on the guest podcast. I might have to lose the headphones and get a different microphone, and just talk to them in person. But, yeah, it's gonna be different. I'm gonna have more in person rather than over the screen. I prefer to do it, set people up over my screen because of the program that I use to make the podcast. I just invite people on. I literally just click a button that says invite. I send an invite to their email. They log on, say if they're wearing headphones or not, and click join. That's all they do. And then we talk for an hour or so. Ray and I were only supposed to talk for an hour and maybe a handful of minutes. We ended up almost talking for 2 hours. And so there was a part that I had to cut out for time management and... Excuse me, sorry. Yeah. But, we're talking about my high school experiences today. That's gonna be fun. So, we're gonna go all the way back in time, and I was a little bitty freshman. This is back when people like T-Bird and Miller were still, and Hank the Tank were still, seniors. Or Jessica Townsend. I loved Jessica. She was pretty chill. We had, all of these three people, we had a gym class together. And I was a tiny little kid, and I was terrified of all of them. My hair was cut short. I was afraid. Everyone hated me. And I was excited, though. I did not like my middle school experience. I thought it was just horrible. And I was ready to go to high school, not only for, more responsibility and more, lenience, but because I was tired of the school. I was tired of being in that school. So I was ready to have a new challenge. But I was always, I don't know. I always have this thing where if you're older than me and you're more experienced than me, I don't suck up to people. It's just, I have a respect, but it's more of an ingrown fear for respect. That's how I felt towards the seniors. I didn't want to make them mad. I did not want to be that freshman to, like, piss off the seniors. Because there are freshmen that, like, you if you're not careful, you're going to make them mad. And if you make the seniors mad, it's horrible. Because, I don't know. They're more experienced in high school, so they're the big dogs of high school, so nobody picks on each other really terribly. It's more of like a tease than a taunt that I have seen in our school. But there's always that possibility of, like, the senior pulling the wool over your eyes or something. But I was a little afraid of the seniors as a little freshman. I didn't want to make them mad, so I kind of just stuck to myself, and I tried not to be super outspoken. I tried to just do what I was supposed to. I joined almost every club I could. I was in game club. I was in drama club. I'm in the same clubs as I was since freshman year, only with, like, a few additions. Like, I couldn't do Spanish club during freshman year, so I'm in that right now. GSA wasn't a thing yet. That ended up I ended up founding that halfway through freshman year into sophomore year. And that just started out as just, like, a lunch hangout, if nobody remembers. That just started out as in we just met during lunch every day, and we just hung out. We'd watch Heartstopper, or we'd watch other movies. I think one day one day someone tried to put on Ratatouille, but the Ratatouille was like a video game over thing, and it wasn't like the actual movie, so we changed it to Good Burger. I love Good Burger. Good Burger is such a good movie. It's so funny. Sorry, I can't speak. I don't think I was in art freshman year. No, I was not. I was in band, Spanish, and fax class. That was my elective freshman year. The sophomore year, I was in art, and then, I had to go to health, so I wasn't in art for a whole year. I was in art for a semester, so I was in art 1. This year I'll be doing art 2 and art 3, so I won't be in art 4, but I will have, and thankfully those are like semester classes, so I'll have those, and it'll be fun. And they're right before lunch. The only thing I don't like is, okay, I have only had this ever happen to me, like, in middle school. So, the reason why I'm complaining about this right now is because this is the time that, like, it's happening to me for my last year of high school, and I kind of don't like it. Why are we normalizing having gym after lunch? Are you trying to tell me that you're going to expect me to go and eat food and try to, like, regain all the energy that I need and then just go and work it out? Like, I understand, like, it's how the schedule works, and that's how things work, and I just gotta suck it up and deal with it. And I am gonna suck it up and deal with it. But how in the heck? How? Like, what if someone pukes? Like, what if someone pukes when they're trying to do weightlifting? That's what I want to know. I don't know. I'm excited for weightlifting, though, this year, because I don't have Mr. Culbertson. I have Mrs. Minor, and I have not had her for a gym class. The last time I had her for a class was for health. Driver's ed and health. And I had a pretty decent time in there, so hopefully I'll have a good time in her gym class. I mean, I've asked people, I go, is she strict? Is she horrible? What's she like in there? And they said, she's actually pretty decent. Just behave and do what you're supposed to. And I said, okay, sounds like Mr. Culbertson. I'm in. What I am excited for this year is the fact that I'm taking yearbook. I didn't take yearbook my freshman, sophomore, or junior year. This is my first and last year doing yearbook. And I'm excited to learn how the yearbook works. I'm excited to learn how stuff gets done in there. I was going to do publications, but I decided I really don't want to. because, I don't know. I don't mind the the school paper. The problem is it's the same people in it every single time. There's nothing really entirely new, unless, like, we're talking about current events. Or someone had a game review at one point, and then there was the guess the person in the Marco Light, and my problem with the guess the person was I was featured in there as a guess the person, but they had all the information they had. I don't know if, like, they misread it or something, but it was completely wrong. Like, they said my favorite movie was The Notebook. This is not my favorite movie. Not my favorite movie. Unless I put it down there because I had no freaking clue what my favorite movie was. If I had to pick a favorite movie, though, I'd have to say Ferngully. I love Ferngully. It's a old animated movie, about, fairies in the rainforest, and, they are, sorry, my window is open, so if you hear screaming, it's my siblings. They are playing in the backyard right now as we speak. I woke up this morning and my dad said, you need to open your window, it's stuffy in the house. And I said, okay, so I did so. So my room setup is not how it is. Reptar is still here. If you were wondering, the green dinosaur that's always slumped over the background, his name's Reptar. He's just in the corner. Let me turn my laptop. Audio listeners, you can't see this. I'm turning my laptop to show that Reptar's in the other corner of my room. He's chilling with my blankets. And then, of course, I have my mound of stuffed animals. I think I should start setting up my bed like that from now on. No. So what I do, actually, is when I'm going to make my bed, I don't sleep under the covers, even in wintertime. I stopped doing that. And the reason I stopped doing that is not because, so you don't have to make the bed in the morning. No, because I have so many stuffed animals, I like to have them on my bed at all times. Because I used to sleep under the covers, and I'd have to ditch the stuffed animals on the floor in the morning, and then if I woke up late, there would be a mess of stuffed animals in my room. Or I'd just pile them on the bed, and it didn't look right. So what I started doing is, I make my bed, and I have a blanket on the corner side where you see, like, the corner of the wall. I have a blanket right there, and then I have a decorative pillow right next to it. And then I put Reptar down. And then I have four Squishmallows. I have a long one, like a Snuggle Me one. It's a cow. He goes on the side, and then 1, 2, 3. And then there's, I usually put, I think I put my llama from the art museum, in which I actually got off the art trip from when we visited the ice cream museum. That was a really fun trip. I loved that trip. Then I put my 2 pillows in front, and then all the rest of my stuffed animals kind of get, put behind the pillows. And then I have not been sleeping with it recently, but I have it right here. I have this dinosaur pillow that I would sleep on or use as a decoration. He's been sitting right there for now. I don't want to get rid of it, per se. I just want to, I don't know. I'd wake up and my back would hurt a little bit from using it, because it's not a good pillow. It's kind of flimsy, but I like using it, and I like my other pillows. If I'm being, serious, I'm so sorry. I kid you not, I literally just woke up an hour ago. I woke up, I did my dishes, because I had to do my chores, because I'm hoping to go hang out with some friends today. And then, after I did my chores, I literally came back up here, and I started filming for another podcast episode. What was I saying? Oh, if I'm being serious, with everybody, I probably should get new sheets. Buy new sheets. I've had those sheets for forever, and they're still good, and they're still functionable. It's just I want new sheets. I don't mind. I'll keep the comforter. I like my comforter. I just want different pillowcases and a different fitted sheet. I don't know about, like, the top sheet that comes with things. I don't know about you guys. I don't keep those. I kind of try. I either give them away or, like, I just recycle it or something. Because I don't like using it. I've never liked sleeping with it. I just don't. I'm just not that type of person. I don't know why it comes with that thing. Layer of protection? I don't know. What? You trying to tell me someone's going to come into my room in the middle of the night and I'm going to need that thin layer of protection just in case they go, ree, and then stab me? No. No, I don't sleep with that. I sleep on top of my covers, and then I sleep with, I'm turning my camera again, audio listeners. I was supposed to get a new one today, so I'm going to probably film another episode with the new camera, so you might see an increase in camera quality. But I sleep with the pink blanket on top of my stack of blankies, and then I have the panda bear blanket just in case I get cold, and then I have my blanket that I made for the winter time. It's falling apart, so I'll have to fix it soon or something or other, but yeah. I've thought about something. And it's really weird. When we're siblings, some of us don't even have siblings, and if so, kudos to you for being an only child, I guess. What's weird is as a kid, you, like, don't like sleeping. You want to be up all the time. You want to just sit there and play, and then as you get older, you just want to sleep. It's weird. It's very weird. Like, I have my own siblings. I have 3 little siblings, and they'll come up to me and they'll be like, Ryplee, can we play something? Only, if you know me, you already know this. If you don't know me, surprise, surprise. This is, my siblings, they call me Pippi. They call me Pippi because as a little kid, I really could not say Ryplee, so it came out as Pippi. And the day that, my sister called me Pippi, it stuck. I texted my grandfather because whenever I would braid my hair, he'd call me Pippi Longstockings, and I said, I guess Pippi Longstockings lives on. And he called me, and he was laughing, and he goes, what are you talking about? And I said, my sister calls me Pippi now. And he started dying. And I was like, yep, okay. Because, like, I wasn't a big fan of the name. I didn't really like being called Pippi. I've gotten used to it. My dad and my stepmom, my sister, Kylie calls me Rip. I've always been known as Ryplee. But my parents call me, they call me Pippi too. They'll call me Pip. I'm always referred to as Pip. It's weird. It wasn't like a big adjustment being called Pip, but it was something, I'll tell you. It was something. What was I gonna say? How long are we into this episode? Oh my god, it only took me 18 minutes into the episode to lose track of my thoughts. Is that a new record? Someone needs to, like, make a compilation of, like, all the times where I go, I'm losing my train of thought, and, like, time it. Just, like, every time you listen to an episode, you got a stopwatch right next to you, and you time it, and you go, okay, you lost your train of thought at, like, this time. We'll see, like, at the end of the year, after the podcast is done, how long it takes me to lose my train of thought while talking. It's probably a shorter time when I'm talking to myself, versus when I have a guest on. And that's because I don't have someone able to give me prompts right next to me when I'm, like, sitting there not being able to talk. But, yeah, I like having guests on the podcast. I would love to do another podcast and have other people on there. The only problem is the reason I don't have another co-host is scheduling. Like, I wake up super early, so way earlier than anybody else. I wake up around 9, and my other friends, they usually don't wake up until, like, noon. it's different. It's different. So, like, and also I have to work. So, I'm gonna be completely honest with y'all. The way I've been doing this is I recorded one episode before I started the podcast. Then I got this podcast all started, and then I uploaded my first episode, and then I uploaded it to YouTube. And then ever since then and then of course the next day I uploaded 2 episodes. And then yesterday I uploaded an episode. Today I'm going to upload this episode before I go to work. I go to work at 3:30. I've been going to work at 3:30 for a while now. And so because I go to work at 3:30, I usually have a specific like routine in the morning. I get up, I do my chores so that I do my chores, and then if my parents ask me to do something extra, I'm like, yeah, okay. And then I sit down and I record and I talk for an hour, and then I get done with the recording and then I export it. Then I put it on to Spotify Creator, and then I put it on to YouTube. And then before I export it, I gotta make a whole thumbnail and all that jazz. It's a long and kind of tedious process. I wish there was a simpler way to do it, but at the same time, it's as simple as it's gonna get. If you've noticed, if you've been switching from YouTube to Spotify, you've noticed that the descriptions are similar, only the episode description on Spotify does not have the disclaimer as it does on YouTube. And that's because I need to put it in the description of the podcast on Spotify. Not just the episodes, the podcast. The reason I put that is someone might come on here and say something that the administration won't like, so then they'll be after me and they'll be like, you need to take that down. And I'm going to be like, no. Because I'm going to be completely honest with you. If someone comes on the podcast and they say something like, oh, I don't like the principal because of this, that is their opinion. And I'm not going to take down my entire podcast just because I had a guest on here who said that they didn't like the principal. That's like coming on to, it's like someone were to come on my podcast and we lived in a world where French fries were like God or something. And someone said, well, I don't like French fries. Why would I take down my podcast? Because of one opinion on there. I'm not promoting that opinion. I'm just saying, hey, this is their opinion. That's one of the things with hot takes. I'm not going to take down my episode or my entire podcast because someone said a hot take that they don't like. I say stuff that people don't like all the time. I'm pretty sure people listening say stuff that other people don't like all the time. There are people you're not going to like. Kind of just got to deal with it. Now, I understand if administration comes up to me and says, hey, your podcast is causing problems at the school, so you need to either tone it down or you got to take it down. I'm going to, talk with them and be a civil human being and be like, hey, what is the problem with my podcast? I just want to know. But, I don't think anyone's going to be too concerned about it. Problematic-wise, I hope people are excited about the podcast. I've talked to a few of you guys in person, and you guys seem pretty awesome. You guys seem pretty interested in all that, and I thank you for that. I'm hoping to grow the interest. Every time I have a guest on the podcast, I tell them, I say, you need to, if you could, for me, spread the word. I want more people on my podcast. And it seems like that's working. I'm spreading the word myself. I have a few people lined up. As I said before, I have a few people lined up to come on here. And I'm really excited. I'm excited to connect with more people. I'm excited for the advice that I'm going to be giving, the advice that other people are going to be giving. I'm excited to do some real-time commentary. I've been thinking about that. I've been thinking about getting a camera or something and going to the football games, because I'm already going to be there in the band, but I'm very excited to go to the football games and then during halftime or something interview people and see what I can get out of people. I'm very excited. One of the things I do want to do, because I know that I don't think anyone else is going to do it, is, you know how you go on YouTube and you always see those compilations of characters from show being a baddie for like 6 minutes straight. I want to do something like that, but it's like Ryplee, every time Ryplee was interrupted while on the podcast, or every time something funny was said. And then put like funny music in the background of it. 'Cause I haven't used any music so far, like to open the podcast or anything. I sure hope there's no ads. I'm doing this for free. I'm not getting any monetary gain from it. And if I find out I'm getting monetized, I'm like, what? I'm gonna question it, because I don't need to be monetized from it. This is just for fun. As I said before, I have a job. I go to work after I'm done with this podcast. This is what I do in my mornings, is sit in front of a screen and talk. Now, I do other things. I go hang out with friends. I go hang out with my girlfriend. I know the 14th I'll be going and doing some stuff, so I'll be taking a break from that, from the podcast, so there might not be an episode that day. I do, there is a time in July where I'm going to be gone an entire weekend because I'm going to be at my grandparents, and, I'm going to be spending time with them. But, I hope to post one on the 4th of July, and I hope to just post throughout this month. This month, if you didn't actually know, not only is Pride Month for all the gays and the guys and all the fun jazz, all the LGBTQ people, we love you. It's also Men's Mental Health Month. I actually did not know that. I did not know that June was Men's Mental Health Month, which is pretty chill. Like, it's cool that we get to share a month together. That's pretty... And then, of course, the 19th is Juneteenth. So... I don't know. It sounds interesting. I want to look into it more. You know? Kind of like how you don't know something, you look into it instead of, like, prosecuting it. I don't know. That's the type of person I am. I like looking into things before making a decision. I like to... I don't know if people refer to me as this, but I'm one of the people who I refer to myself as the neutral friend. I've been in the middle of some friend feuds before, and I always stay neutral, and I listen to both sides, and then if they want me to, I give them my advice, and I kind of just be like, okay, well, this is what you are doing, and it's kind of sucky, but here's what you're doing, and that's also kind of sucky, so what if you guys do this? Like, I also tell them, I'm like, I'm not trying to be offensive or take sides, because I don't want to take sides in this, but this is my opinion. I don't know. I've always been like that. I've always been, like, the type of person to kind of just look into things and not take sides. I remember, this is a stupid analogy. This is a very stupid analogy, and you're gonna laugh at me because it was mentioned on the podcast yesterday, on the last episode. During the whole, like, we didn't have this problem because it wasn't as, like, relevant to us, but when the whole Twilight series came out, there's always the debate of Team Edward and Team Jacob. I never took a side. I thought it was stupid. And it is. It's kind of stupid. Like, what do you mean you're Team Jacob? It's literally canonically written that Bella falls in love with Edward and has a kid with him. What do you mean, Team Jacob? She doesn't love him like that. It's been stated multiple times, dude. Like, he kissed her and she punched him and broke her hand. Like, that's, I don't know. I thought that was stupid. Taking a side for that. Why am I yawning so much? Oh my goodness, I am so sorry. I swear I slept last night. I slept, I fell asleep watching something or other. Because I got home from work and I was telling my mom about the work tea, because I always have some drama or something to tell my mom. And then I ate food, and then I came up here and I took a shower, and then I got into bed, and then I laid down and I was watching something, and then I just fell asleep. And then I woke up and it was blaring in my ear. I do that sometimes. Like, I'll be watching something and I'll fall asleep right in front of it. I I think that's a trait I've inherited from my dad. He'll sit in front of the TV while watching a TV show, and he'll fall asleep in the middle of it. And I'm just wondering to myself, I'm like, you don't remember anything that's going on, so why? What? I don't know. Yawning again. I heard a thing where, like, you're not yawning because you're tired. You're yawning because your brain needs oxygen. And to that I say, no. No, I don't know what to believe, man. I'm not one of those people. I just... Okay, if it's scientifically proven, it's scientifically proven. I'm going to assume you guys have the correct work. I'm going to look into your work, obviously. As a good person would do. I have a bottle cap that I just found. Like, I put my computer down, and it was like levitated, so it was like this. It was tilted, and I looked under it and I found a bottle cap, and I was like, what the heck? That's insane, bro. We're supposed to be talking about my high school experience. I've just been like giving personal stuff away. I am so sorry. What was another thing? I know I was talking about how as a freshman I was like kind of scared of everybody. I know I talked about last episode. I talked about my Mr. Horst incident where I like made him mad. I know what I can talk about. The amount of times in my school year that band has switched. Like, okay, so band as a class has switched from different class periods. Like in my 8th grade year, if you were in band, you didn't have a study hall because you would go over to the high school and eat lunch with the high schoolers and then go to band while the middle school went over for lunch. So you'd have an earlier lunch, right? And then when I got into freshman year, my the lunch hour was after, the band was after lunch, and that was like that for like 2 years, I think. This year, well, junior year, it was at third hour. So I was up here getting up in the morning, going to I think they changed it because of whack kids. But here's the thing. I was the only whack kid in band that year. Like, and I had to like give up one of my 3-year classes just to do it. It was science. I gave up my 3rd year of science. So now I'm only at like 3 years of science, which you only need 3 years to like graduate. So it's just my math is now I'll have 4 years of math and 3 years of science, which is kind of uneven, and I don't really like that, but oh well. Excuse me. But it was at third hour. So I'd get up in the morning, I'd go to Mrs. Coy's English 11 first hour, then I'd go to Mr. Matt, and then I'd go to algebra. And I'd sit there in algebra 2 and just... Why are they yelling? Do you ever, like, hear your siblings screaming about something and you're like, why are they yelling? But I'd sit there and, I just sit there. I do math. I'm not a big math person. Math does not always click for me. And when it does, then I get thrust into the deep end, and then I give up because my brain can't comprehend what's happening. Then I would go all the way to the band room, and I'd be in there. Now here's the kicker. Since having Mac for 2 periods in a row, that meant if I made him mad in the first period, I didn't get to, like, go off to another period. I'd have to stay with him for another period. So I tried my best not to make him mad. Like, I don't ever want to make a teacher mad. I don't like making teachers upset. I feel bad when I make teachers upset. I feel horrible. But then after, oh my god. Yawning. But then after, band, I'd go to Mr. Berger. I'd go to history class. And then, I'd go to lunch, and then I'd go to WAC. I'm trying to do a podcast episode about whack. Once I get access to a vehicle and once I get access to my license, if we ever have a half day but whack is still in session, I'll probably go there and talk and be like, hey, can I interview some of you guys for my podcast? But, yeah. Whack was fun. I loved going and meeting Carrie and all my whack and all the other kids from school. I was scared because I figured I wasn't going to make any friends, and then I ended up making friends. And yeah, they weren't in my class, but it was alright. Also found out that most of the kids in those class took CNA last year, or knew people who already took CNA, so they were all kind of already in a tight-knit bunch. And they already kind of knew Carrie, and I was like just new meat to them, but it's new meat. I was fresh meat, so whatever. It's whatever. Fun fact about allied health in general, you get to learn to be a phlebotomist and you get certified, right? You actually can't use your certification until you graduated high school. So, I'm certified. But I have to wait an entire year to use my certification. And then I have to renew it after that. And Carrie said that she wished people would, like, she loves juniors, don't get her wrong, but she wishes that schools would only send her seniors. She wishes that it was a senior-only class because of the fact that you can only get certified after, you can only use your certification after you're out of high school. Which I hope I will be doing. I'm going to look into it. I'm going to see how it works with my schooling after high school. I have a funny thing planned for my senior night. So I planned it out, right? Here's what mine's going to read. After high school, Ryplee wants to go to Sauk and get her gen eds out of the way, then transfer to a law school, preferably Harvard. If all else fails, she's just going to become a Ghostbuster. I don't know. I thought it was funnier. I'll probably have it more written out. Be like, if all plans fail, she's just going to become a Ghostbuster. Da-da-da-da-da-da. I'm going to write that down. I'm going to be like, sing the first part of the Ghostbusters theme song afterwards. The da-da-da-da-da-da. I want to play that. I want to play the Ghostbusters theme song. It's a very good song. I like the movie too. I wonder if I might watch the movie tonight. I like that movie. That movie's great. What I do need to watch is, my girlfriend, Jeez, these kids. My girlfriend, she's watched this old series called Cowboy Bebop, and she's been trying to get me to watch it, and I'm like, yeah, I'll watch it. And then I don't. Whoops. I'm gonna watch it though. When she was over last, we watched a few episodes together, and it was pretty good. So I'm gonna continue watching it. I think there's only like 26 episodes. So, I don't know. So I haven't watched anime in years. The last anime I watched was The Promised Neverland, right? So, here's my thing, bro. What is it with Naruto and being super freaking long in length, but having so many filler episodes? I want to understand this, because, like, everybody knows Naruto. Everybody knows, like, the ninja signs and all that, and the whole, like, thing of Naruto. The Naruto run was a big thing. It's a very funny run. It's very funny. What is it with them having a super long series and just having so much filler episodes? I don't understand it. Another thing I got beef with is, why is the My Hero Academia fandom so weird? I used to be a part of that fandom, and I've, like, left since then. And I stopped reading the manga. I stopped collecting the manga because I got super duper, like, weirded out by them. Like, I understand that there are, like, the author himself, if you've read the manga, I don't know if it's included in the anime, because I don't watch anime. I read manga. I'm more of a civilized human being, I guess you could say. In the manga, sorry, I lost my train of thought. In the manga, it says in one of the notes for Minoru Mineta, the, like, little perverted guy, said that the author based it on himself because he's slightly a pervert too. Why would you admit that? Why would you write that in a novel for preteens? Why? I don't know anything about, like, the like legislation or whatever for the manga that he's writing over in his country, but, like, that's crazy. One of the mangas I did enjoy reading was Vampire Knight. I never finished it. It's on Netflix. I know it's on Netflix. But I enjoyed reading it, but I stopped reading it because, spoilers, I remember Zero, but I don't remember her name. And then I don't remember the male vampire's name. Not Zero, the dark-haired vampire's name. But that ends up being her brother. And she ends up being a vampire turned human. Because her parents were, like, were murdered by vampire hunters. And they were, like, the last of the purebloods or whatever. It's strange. And then, of course, Zero is, like, he's all against vampires. He wants to kill every single one of them and then himself. Because he was bitten by a vampire. And his whole family was killed by a vampire. And they were hunters. What was another? It sounds like, okay, so I also read this manga. I only have, like, 3 volumes of it. It's, like, this Dragon Knight volume. It's Dragon Knight, where this guy is, like, I don't know if he's in love with this little girl, or, like, just is a brotherly love, but, like, her name's Leo, and I don't remember his name, but, like, he ends up meeting, like, the Dragon King, and the Dragon King is, like, I'm gonna give you all this power to kill dragons, and we're gonna kill every single dragon, and then you're gonna kill me. Because I don't like dragons. But I am a dragon. Girl, what? What? I don't know. The things that people come up with is kind of funny. It reminds me of, like, whenever like, you're writing your own series for middle school, where, like, the storyline doesn't make sense at all. I need to stop yawning. I keep yawning. It's annoying. Ow. I just hit my knee. But I used to be into anime, like, in middle school, and then I stopped watching it freshman year. I moved on to Stephen King books after the anime thing, and then I moved on to Five Nights at Freddy's again, and then I moved on to... What was I into? Dream SMP. I was into, like, okay, I wasn't entirely into the Dream SMP, right? Like, we went over this last episode with Ray. I'm the queen of hyperfixations. I got I hyper fixated on NSYNC's album No Strings Attached from the Deadpool and Wolverine movie for 2 whole weeks. 2 whole weeks. 2 whole weeks. 2 whole weeks. I had a problem, right? So, Dream SMP. I never watched a single stream. I only watched Tommy Innit's videos on it. I did not know the lore. I only knew some of it. I started watching because of people who I went to a camp with for a therapy group I was in. I started watching because of Technoblade, because of Tommy Innit, and because of Jay Schlatt. That is the whole reason. And then still to this day, I watch. Fundy. To this day, I watch Jack Manifold. I watch Tommy. I watch Slime. I watch Rambo. My thing is with YouTube videos, though, is it takes a while for me to watch new ones. They have to stand out to me from that YouTuber. And the YouTuber's got to be pretty good to get my attention. Otherwise, I know when I go to watch YouTube, I watch videos that I've watched 50 million times. I'm weird, okay? I'm very weird. I'm also very, very fond of, like, the funny meme videos where, like, steamed hams, but it's sung it's sung like, I think it was Gorilla Eyes? I don't know. I didn't watch the video. Like, I did, but my girlfriend showed it to me. Or, like, steamed hams, but every word is the lyric of a song. I don't know. I'm an odd person. For my high school experience so far, getting back on track, for my high school experience so far, it has been pleasant. There has been, I'm not gonna lie, there's been times where I've hated every single moment of being in that school. I've had moments where I did not want to be at my extracurriculars. I just wanted to go home and cry. That is more of a personal issue rather than a school issue, though. I've always really kind of struggled with mental health. Kind of a big hypocrite because I'll preach that mental health is important and that you gotta take care of it, and then I still struggle myself taking care of it, but that's okay. Not everybody has it perfect. I think that's something that has been gone over for years, especially like in elementary school. Like, you can't be perfect. There's nothing ever perfect. Excuse me. The perfect is like a social construct. It's not a thing. It's a belief, kind of, you know? It's a belief. There's examples of being perfect, but they're not they're not physically possible for humans. We are not perfect human beings. We get sick. We have problems, just like any other organism. That's what makes us ourselves. But I'd have to say my favorite part of high school so far has been all the extracurriculars that I am allowed to take. I enjoy juggling extracurriculars along with personal time and all that. I enjoy staying busy. I enjoy doing plays. I enjoy band. I really enjoy band. I guess if I'd have to pick a favorite thing out of high school so far, is actually, in fact, starting my own club. I didn't think it was possible. I didn't think that was a thing I could do, was starting my own club. I thought a teacher had to do that. So when I found out, when talking to Mrs. Coy, that we could do this, it was awesome. And then we had controversial opinion. When we started our club, I was really fine with us not having officers. And the reason why is because I knew that if we were to elect officers, everybody was going to vote for me to be to be president. And I felt like I had an unfair advantage just because I started the club. Like, yeah, I started the club. I was happy just being the founder. I'm not saying I don't want to be president. I didn't really particularly care to be president. I was kind of voted in, and I just accepted it, and I said, whatever, that's fine. I guess I will. I enjoy being president, though. I stepped up, and I've taken the role on. Not to toot my own horn, but I think I've taken it on pretty well. I've had us do things as a club. I've been hell-bent on making us more, get ourselves out there, because I really want us to have a good club experience, and I really want us to be that club that's constantly involved and constantly, like, up to something, you know? I don't want to be a club that just sits around and hangs out and eats during lunch. While that is a fun thing, I I'm not very fond of clubs that just only meet occasionally and then they have fun trips and that's it. I want to do more as a club. That's all that I want to do more. I don't know if that's because of like my upbringing or because of the fact that in band, Mr. Mac, he's a phenomenal person. He teaches you leadership. He teaches you how to do things. He has a leadership camp where you learn how to lead people. You learn how to cook food for other people before cooking for yourself. You learn how to clean up after yourself. You learn how to connect with other people. We watched Inside Out 2, and then we had a discussion about, like, leadership in regards to Inside Out 2. Mr. Mac is a very phenomenal person. He is a great guy, honestly. He's taught us how to be better human beings in a world where, like, stuff like that isn't, like, it's kind of just like, oh, just be better. You know? Like, for example, it's like, I'm going to get the magical audio listeners, love you to death. I have two, like, Sanrio Lego figures in my hand right now, so I'm going to, like, do a little reenactment. Kuromi's going to be Society, and then Cinnamon Roll will be you. So, it basically just goes like this. Hey, be a good human being. Okay, how do I do that? Just do it. Oh. Yeah. Oh. Well, how do I do this? Just do it. Oh. Okay. When in regards, Kuromi's now going to be Mr. Mac, and you're going to be this little, Cinnamon Roll. Hey, we're going to learn how to be good leaders. This is how we're going to do it. Insert a very, very long camp list and all these fun activities and blah, 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 blah. Wow, I learned how to be a good human being. Yay! Oh my god. I'm going to put them back now. But yeah, Max teaches us how to actually be like a good human being and a good noodle. And I really like that about him. And then we go into rookie camp. Oh my god. So we have a few band camps over the summer before we start up school again. Rookie camp is for the younger kids, like rookies. So juniors and seniors, they're like not exempt from the camp. Seniors, it's optional to go, but it's more of a when Max says optional, he means if you're an upperclassman and you really care about this band and you want to be a part of it, show up. Because not only am I going to need help, but you are shaping the people that you want to be a part of the band, and you want to set a good example for people. So do it. And I didn't really get that last year, but I do now. And I hope I can show up to rookie camp this year. My problem is, again, I have work. So I might be able to show up, but I might not be able to stay the entire time. But rookie camp is just teaching the kiddos how to march, teaching them our parade song. I'm not going to say what our parade song is yet because that's not really fully out to the public yet. But, and then once we got leadership and rookie camp out of the way, then we do an all band camp. Last year we did Six Flags in the middle of rookie and all band camp. We're not doing that this year. I don't know why. Probably because scheduling conflict and all that, and it was really expensive. It was very expensive. We had to rent a minibus. Only a few people would go. If you went to rookie camp, then you had to go to all band camp in order to go, and it was smack right dab in the middle of both camps. So it was hectic. It was very hectic. So that's probably why we're not going. It took a lot out of us. And yeah. But all band camp and rookie band camp are whole different ball games from leadership camp. Mac writes down a set schedule for us. So basically it was like we wake up at 7, 8 o'clock. We go have breakfast for an hour. Then after breakfast, we get up and we get ready, and we would go over to the middle school. We had to go over to the middle school for all band camp. Rookie camp, we didn't. And the reason we had to go over to the middle school is because they were redoing the gym. So, we went over to the middle school. We marched until lunch. We went over back to the high school. We ate lunch. Then we went out and we did some more marching. And then we did sectionals. And then after we did sectionals, then we were allowed to, dinner time was, if we didn't have it at the school, it was kind of like a free-for-all. There were certain parents that would, like, invite others to come to the house. Like, come to their houses. What am I trying to say? But, if you didn't show up there, then you probably just went somewhere else, and you had to be back in time for one last midnight rehearsal. And then after we did, usually that hour was just us marking time and place, and then, playing the song. And then everybody would get ready, and we'd do showers, we'd brush our teeth, we'd get ready for bed, we'd watch a movie, and we'd all go to bed. We would set up in the cafeteria, we'd tear it out, we'd set up every night, we'd tear it down in the morning, and we would put all of our stuff on the walls, out of the way, so that we had that space to hang out in during the day when we were, constantly cleaning up and picking up after ourselves, but it taught us how to be good noodles. I remember once Mac told us that during chill out time before bed, that was the time to, like, bring out your Nintendo 3DS and play your games and all that fun jazz. Most of us just went on our phones. I really liked Rookie and Band Camp. Rookie Camp is the same thing as Band Camp. All Band Camp, it's just more experience for the rookies, and then putting all of us together and all of us learning the songs. If you don't show up as a high schooler who is maybe not a rookie, but maybe is, to Rookie Camp, and then you just go to All Band Camp, you'll actually be a little bit behind, but being an older kid, they assume that you can catch up pretty easily. Oh no, my blanket. I have a blanket that that folds up behind my chair, so yeah. I guess one last thing I could talk about before I end this episode. It's been mostly Ryplee Gab. I'm gonna name this Ryplee's Gab. So, talks about personal experiences and going off the rails. But another thing of high school that I've really liked is how the workload is. Certain classes have less workload. Other classes do. For chemistry, the work never stops. You usually have an assignment like every single day. For history, you have an assignment every week, and you have a lecture that you're supposed to pay attention to and take notes of. Excuse me. English, I've always found I don't know how it hasn't been like a heavy workload. It's just always been easier to me. Math, it depends on which class you're taking. Mr. Morrison assigns homework. Max assigns check your understandings every week, which is kind of homework, but it's more of evidence that you are learning and able to pass his class. Don't take it for granted. That's one of the biggest things about his class is if you submit the check your understandings and you have a problem that's wrong, it shows him what you've goofed up on, and it can help him help you to fix that mistake. What's another one? Art has never really had a big workload on me. Facts never really had a big workload. It was more of just get your stuff done. Yeah. I don't know how yearbook is gonna go. I am excited for yearbook. I'm excited to learn what that's gonna be about. Another thing I'm excited for is I don't think I signed up for economics. I think I signed up for the other class with Mrs. Wolber. But I'm so excited because Mr. Barker is a pretty chill guy. I'm excited because I was gonna do current events and see if Miss Sanders could bear with me and switch around my schedule just one more time for me, but I decided I don't want to. I was gonna omit one of my art classes for current events, but it looks like that didn't work out. And you know what? That's okay. That is A-okay. Oh my god, I'm a minute late, but it's getting better. So top of the hour today. We're gonna shout out PCHS person. I have been shouting out staff members so far, and I know what you're thinking. Oh, you're gonna shout out Mr. Mack because you've been talking about. No, not yet. He deserves it, but not yet. I was thinking I want to shout out a student. This student, she's kind of not very outspoken, but she is. She's a mix of it. She's an awesome friend to have. She works super extra hard in her sports and her other extra activities. She does really well on the stage, even though she probably doesn't think so herself. I've always enjoyed talking to her during school. I've always enjoyed the friendship that I've had with her. Laura Rockwood. She is phenomenal. Laura, if you're listening to this, congratulations. You are the first PCHS student to get a shout out on my podcast. And I hope you feel honored as much as I am honored to be your friend. We love you, Laura. Laura is awesome. I suggest friending up Laura. She can help you with schoolwork. She helps you. She listens when you need someone to talk to about your problems. She's a really great friend. She's like... I hate to give this analogy, but have you ever seen a tiny little puppy who just has all eyes on you at all times and always wants to help out and be a part of your life? That's Laura. Laura is a tiny little energetic puppy that is timid, but once she warms up to you, she's all for you. She's excited. She will joke around with you. It's very I love Laura. She's a very nice human being. I hate to end it after the top of the hour, shout out, but I can't really think of anything else to talk about. Most of this was me just yapping about personal interests, but this was kind of a get to know me as a person episode. I'll probably do another episode like it where I just talk more about myself and just let my thoughts come out. That's basically, I'm gonna be completely honest, that's basically what I did this episode. I just talked about myself. I don't know what my next episode's going to be. I don't know if I'm going to keep uploading every single day for episodes. I'm going to shoot for it. But, yeah. Everybody stay funky. I think that's going to be my outro for now. Just everybody stay funky. Funky felines. And I hope you guys have a great day. I can't get my mouse. Okay, bye!